Hey guys, Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and welcome to Mail Monday, a weekly series that's not so much about the gameplay, thank goodness in this case, but more about your questions and my answers to them. So, here we go! Before I read this question, I want you to know I think this applies to just about every guy through college, so don't lock into the fact that he's young. Is this normal? Hey Woody, how's it going? I'm a typical 13-year-old middle schooler who's obviously going through puberty. Pubic hair, deeper voice, etc. My question is this: is it normal for me to look at every woman as a sex object? I know that women are much more than that and not just a sex object, so is it like normal that as I'm going through puberty, or is my lust for sex taking over? A reply would be just fine, and Mail Monday would be cool. Keep up the great work, forever a sub. First, what you're describing is completely normal, and I love the way you described it, which is part of why I picked your letter. You said, is it normal to look at every woman like a sex object? I know they're much more than that, and they're not just sex objects, but is this normal? And it's like, yes. And I almost put this out there as a warning to all women. That's really why I picked this, because you need to know what guys are thinking. Intellectually, they understand that you are much more than just a sex object, right? We get that. But hormonally, instinctively, primally, you are a sex object. And this exists all the way through. Young Woody, oh my gosh, this is listen to the perv of that was me at like 13 to 20 something. I remember my high school had 2 or 3 levels in it, and I would like almost look forward to going up the stairs because, one, I try to line it up so I got to look at some girl's butt on the way up, and 2, if possible, if that wasn't possible, I would just look at every girl's crotch on like the return trip. So as I go up and they go down, you can pretty much look like a normal person, even though you're a perv looking at every girl's jeans and skirt and whatever as they go by. I'm not alone. This guy is the same. So girls, when you go to a party, you need to understand the mindset of the people around you. And that, most of these guys are completely reasonable, good people and all as well. But, treat them guarded. Understand whether or not you're talking to the intellectual version of them that knows that you're much more than a sex object, or whether you're talking to that other copy of them that just thirsts for your body all the time. This is how guys are wired. A lot of them, most of them. I was. That's why I picked this letter, so that the 4% would know. You need to treat this stuff really carefully. You need to know that, what you've got going on body-wise is so prized by boys that, they're not always thinking with their right mind. That's the deal. So, yeah, almost like a public service announcement on this first Mail Monday letter. Yeah, what you're thinking is normal, and it's terrible, but it's normal. Interracial couple help. Hey Woody, I'm a 15-year-old guy living in Southern California. My problem stems from the fact that I'm a Mexican guy and I'm dating an African-American girl. I took your advice and I grew a pair by asking her out, and she said yes. Good for you, dude. I love her very much and our relationship is going great. The only problem seems to be that we often get dirty looks and occasionally rude remarks from people when they see us holding hands or kissing. People who do this are often older, maybe 50 or so in age. I'm here asking you this because I really need a solution. It bothers my girlfriend a lot too. We are almost afraid to show our affection for each other in public. I demand an answer, Woody. I've never seen questions like this on Mail Monday, and I think it would be great if you could help me out. Also bring a little light to the subject so your subscribers can spread the idea of tolerance for interracial couples. Thanks. I love the videos. Keep up the great work. Well, thanks. Sometimes I think to myself about this, and the thought process goes something like this. I wonder if, say, fast forward 40 years, when the people in society that I can't seem to agree with on social issues, right? All the people that kind of put religion in a broader context than it belongs, all the people that seem to hate on gay people, all the people that seem to be intolerant of other races, they seem to be older guys, right? That's mostly the gray-haired crowd we've got. So if you fast forward 30 or 40 years, one of two things will happen. Either culturally, as a race, as a human race, we will advance greatly and things will be so much better, in my opinion, socially than they are now. Or the current group of guys who were, say, like 30 will become just like the people who are 60 today, 30 years from now. And they'll develop the same sorts of intolerances and bigotry and such. Yeah, anyway, that just seems somehow related to this. I get you. Old people are looking at you. And for those that don't know, where he's from in Southern California, blacks and Hispanics often have like an extra kind of animosity. Certainly, like I'm not calling this guy a gangbanger, but, in like the gang thing, there are Mexican gangs and there are black gangs, and those guys are very much don't like each other. I don't know if it's for business reasons or bigotry reasons or whatever, but in Southern California, blacks and Mexicans can have an extra sort of tension that you might not have known about. As far as a solution, man, like there almost isn't one, right? You're asking for a societal change. You're asking for being able to go into public places and not have people think funny things about you because of who you're in love with. And, like I wish that I could grant that to you. I wish that you could have that. But it's almost like when you sign on to be an interracial couple, when you sign on to be a gay couple, and I'm, look, if that's not your cup of tea and you don't like being lumped in, whatever, I don't care. But when you sign on to be a non-standard couple, if that doesn't offend you, then you almost take on an ambassador role where you show the rest of the world that this is okay. Where like, whoever let's pretend you're 15, so this isn't likely, but let's pretend that you guys get married and you're together forever. You'll be a good neighbor. You're, as this ambassador role that you're filling in, you need to be the sort of person that makes people love you, and that involves, mowing your yard, which I barely do. That's the answer here. The answer to fixing societal bigotry and prejudice is letting them know that they're wrong through experience. I don't know. There's a little more on this note. And again, I don't know why I keep leaping on the gay thing, because this is different. But Barack Obama apparently has a gay person in his life. Like, his friends, his daughters are friends with someone whose parents are gay. And according to him, that's why he changed his views on gay marriage. Now, it happened just before the election, so there's a skeptic in me. But that sort of story, whether his is true or not, plays out all the time. And, there will be people, hopefully, in your life who develop more enlightened opinions on interracial marriage because they know you and your girlfriend. That's the solution. And it's not quick, and it's not easy, and it's not something you can do by yourself. But being a good person helps people understand that there are good people like you. Hey, Woody, I'd like to say thanks for reading this message. I love your videos. Keep up the great videos. Well, thanks. So I'm in my 3rd month of a relationship with the girl of my dreams. She looks amazing. She's the nicest girl in my grade, and she's so understanding. We share almost all of each other's interests. We've been going out for a little over 3 months now, and I feel like we have very little to talk about. The only thing I don't share with her is my amazement with computers and electronics. Yes, I built my computer. And she listens, but I worry that it bores her. Please, can you help me with what to talk about? We're both gamers, but I'm more serious in the games I play, like Battlefield 3 and Crysis 3, whereas she plays Minecraft and Amnesia. And although I like those games, I would love it if I could have some advice on how to make better conversation. I would love a reply in Mail Monday. It would absolutely be a miracle. So thank you, Woody, and keep up the amazing work. Dude, this practically describes my wife and I love my relationship with Jackie. We've been together over 20 years, married for 17 of them. And I love computers, but she doesn't really share an interest in this sort of thing. And wait till you get into programming, because then it just gets completely like uninterpretable for someone who also isn't into it. I love games, and she loves games just like your girlfriend, but it's not the same games. To say that she's a gamer because my wife likes Minecraft and Ratchet and Clank and stuff is like saying, I like sports. I like to go walking with my girlfriend, and we play badminton in the backyard. And meanwhile, you see him, and it's not like competitive badminton. It's like two girls trying to keep the shuttlecock going for as many volleys as they can. Like, that's not sports. I like sports. I like it when I hit somebody. I like it when competition happens. And anyway, back on topic. As far as the commonality and things to talk about, I almost feel like joint activities in terms of couples is exaggerated too much in terms of its importance. Like, it's not really about you both enjoying bicycling or computers or games or whatever. Like, to me, what makes a couple compatible has more to do with their like lined up beliefs and what moral behavior is. It has more to do with like, societal agreements. Y'all, like, to me, that foundational stuff on right and wrong, and what's important in family, what's important in ambition, what's important in like whatever it is that you stress, like if you have similar life goals, those are the things that make a match for a couple. Not necessarily the activities you enjoy doing together, but the philosophies that the two of you line up on. That's what makes a couple compatible, and I'm going on forever about this. If you both enjoy mic talk, that doesn't necessarily make a great relationship. But if you both line up with, how you approach problems and what you think is right and wrong in the world and what you think a successful couple should be doing and together, then that is the foundation for success in a relationship. And it sounds like you really like her, so I imagine that that's happening. You didn't write me and say she's really cool except for that racist stuff. Like it sounds like you two have it going on fundamentally. As far as the specifics of what to talk about, which is what you really asked for in your letter, I don't think games or computers are the thing. Like, it's not about educating her. It's about the syncing up in minds. Like, I was thinking, what do I talk to my wife about? And it's more like same team sort of, joint connection and advancement together. Like that's, I could see you talking to your girlfriend. How is school going? How's her relationships with her girlfriends going? Where do you fit in on that? Do you want to study together and do a joint thing like that? Can you help her with science, or can she help you with science? Are there study sessions that happen together? Like, that's the sort of thing that you guys can be connecting on beyond the two things that you did already. Ask her how school is. Ask her if she wants to study something with you. Ask her, joint activity. I always throw out the baking brownies thing. I can't get over it. I think it's a fun thing to do for couples. And afterwards you get brownies, which is freaking awesome. So, yeah, that's a joint activity, like a date. It sounds like a stupid date, right? Cooking together? It's not. Adults cook together all the time. It's it's quality time well spent. It's a joint project. It's really not that much different than like woodworking together or something. You got a distracting activity and you're spending time with someone you care about. But yeah, as far as what to talk about, I don't know. Ask her how she's doing. Ask her how you can help her do what she's doing. Be on her side and make her feel loved. That if you do that, then you're in pretty good shape.